Hello, Level 7 students. Today, we're going to talk about 3 verbs: be, do, and have. These 3 verbs can be used as the main verb of a sentence, like she is a university student, I do my English homework, or they have an adorable cat. But these verbs can also be used as auxiliary verbs with a main verb. For example, I am reading an interesting book. They don't like spicy food. Or I have traveled to many different countries. Do you remember what auxiliary verbs are? Auxiliary verbs are verbs that help the main verb and are used to give a tense to the sentence. The 3 main auxiliary verbs are be, do, and have. So when do you use the auxiliary verb be? Be is used with a present participle, that is verb ing, to make continuous tenses. It is also used with a past participle to make passive sentences. Here are some different examples. You'll see in these sentences that be is not the main verb. We are walking to the park. The main verb is the present participle walking, and here the be verb is just the auxiliary. It is a helping verb. When do you use the auxiliary verb do? Do, did, and does are used for present or past simple questions and negative sentences. They're also sometimes used for emphasis. So when something is really important and you want to make it clear what you mean. Do and does are used for present simple questions and negative sentences. And did is used for past simple questions and negative sentences. When the auxiliary verb did is used in past simple, the main verb is not in past simple form. It is in base form. For example, look at this question. Did you see Eric at the party last night? This is a past simple question. It has the auxiliary verb did, and then the main verb see is in base form. It is not in past simple form. The past simple form of see is saw, but when you use the auxiliary verb did, the verb is in its base form, not past simple form. When do you use the auxiliary verb have? Have is used in perfect tenses with a past participle of the main verb. So normally, the auxiliary verb have comes directly before the past participle, but sometimes they are separated by an adverb, like already. We had already eaten. Or when you have a question, have you ever had sushi? On the Partial 1 grammar exam, you will see some sentences that are missing the auxiliary verb, and you will have to choose between be, do, or have, and then put it in the correct tense. So let's practice doing that right now. Look at this sentence. We walking to the park with our dog right now. Here, our main verb is in the present participle form, ing, walking. So this is a continuous tense. Which auxiliary verb do we use with continuous tenses? We use the be verb with continuous. So we need the be verb here, but what form should we use? Past, present? Look at the sentence. It says right now, and our subject is we. So it should be we are walking to the park with our dog right now. You ever ridden a motorcycle? Look at the main verb. Ridden is a past participle. We use past participles with perfect tenses or in passive sentences. So, is this active or passive? Look, we have the agent you before the verb. So this is an active sentence, which means we're using a perfect tense, and we should have the auxiliary verb have. Have you ever ridden a motorcycle? Present perfect simple to ask about experience. When their bus arrived last night? Look at the main verb, arrive. This is in base form, but here it says last night. So this must be a past simple question. Remember, in past simple questions, we use the auxiliary verb did, and then the main verb stays in base form. She has swimming for 2 hours. Okay, look, we have a present participle, swimming. So that means this is a continuous tense. And look, we have the other auxiliary, has. Has and a present participle, and it has a duration for 2 hours. That must mean that this is present perfect continuous. So here we need been. She has been swimming for 2 hours. We already left when she arrived. Let's look for the main verb, left. Left is a past participle. We use past participles in perfect tenses with the auxiliary verb have, or in passive sentences with the auxiliary verb be. So is this an active or a passive sentence? Look, we, this is our agent, and it is at the beginning of the sentence. So this is an active sentence. So we have a past participle in an active sentence. That means it is a perfect tense with have. But what form of have should we use? Have, has, or had? Look at the end of the sentence. when she arrived. So this verb left happened before this past simple action. That means we're using past perfect. So we had already left. A lot of food made for the party last night. Okay, our main verb is a past participle, made. So that means it's a perfect tense with have, or it's a passive sentence with the auxiliary verb be. So let's look. Is this an active or a passive sentence? Do we see an agent at the beginning of the sentence? A lot of food. That is not an agent. An agent is who or what did the action. The food did not do our action, so that is not an agent. This must be a passive sentence. So that means we need to use the auxiliary verb be. But what tense should we use? Look here. Last night. So we want past tense. A lot of food was made for the party last night. For today's assignment, you're going to do the same thing. Complete the sentences with the correct form of have, be, or do. As always, if you have any questions or you need help, send me a message and I will help you. Good luck!